everybody should learn to keep things a little bit more local.
We started with 75 shares our first year, and now we're up to about 1,000 shares.
Well, I've always been interested in growing vegetable seed.
Branding is enormously important.
You know, in order for people to really buy it, they need to try it.
There are a lot of challenges. Like a food processing business is very logistical.
One of the reasons we exist is to get our community to eat whole, organic food.
Tieton Farm and Creamery is a 21-acre farm located in the Yakima Valley in eastern Washington. It's owned and operated by farmer Ruth Babcock and cheesemaker Lori Babcock. Today, we are going to look at the construction elements related to vat pasteurizers, which are used to pasteurize milk in the process of making cheese. Lori talked with other cheesemakers and learned the best place to start is with WSDA.
We consulted with WSDA from the very beginning. To say, these are our plans, how do they look, what do you think? And even when it came to purchasing equipment, not all pasteurizers are the same, and not all pasteurizers will meet the specific requirements.
Vat pasteurizers are the most common type of pasteurizers used by small cheese-making facilities. These systems present a significant startup expense and must meet the construction standards for milk pasteurization equipment. These standards have to be met, or the WSDA will not be able to license you to use the equipment.
The world of doing it for cheese making that you're going to sell to the public is a very different product from if you want to pasteurize for your own home milk consumption.
Pasteurization. It's the heating process designed to kill human pathogens in milk. Pathogens are organisms that can harm humans. Pasteurization of milk has a legal definition: the process of heating every particle of milk and milk products to the minimum required temperature continuously for the minimum required time in equipment that is properly designed and constructed. Today, we will focus on properly designed and constructed equipment.
This is a vat pasteurizer. It's a common type of pasteurizer used in startup facilities in cheese making. It is a collection of equipment. It's not just one piece of equipment. It's a collection of equipment. It's a system. So it includes a jacketed vessel, a proper outlet valve, thermometers. There's 3 thermometers, a recording chart, an agitator.
A jacketed vessel means that the heating medium is captured between the inner wall of the vessel and the outer wall. The heating medium, either steam or hot water, does not directly touch the milk in the vessel.
The outlet valve is the valve through which pasteurized milk exits the pasteurizer. It's solid stainless steel construction.
Outlet valves must have a leak detector groove arrangement, which will allow free drainage of any product past the plug while in the closed position.
So the operator who's operating this valve knows exactly when it's completely opened and completely closed. So in the completely open position, you'll know it, and it stops at the completely closed position.
The valve must be in a closed position during fill, heating, and pasteurization holding period. The valve is operated manually by the operator. The valve must be closed coupled, which means it must be attached to the vessel body with a limited amount of space between the vessel and the valve body. This prevents the accumulation of unpasteurized milk in the milk passage in the closed position.
It has leak detect grooves so that are drilled in the body of the valve, and so it allows milk to drain to the floor if there's a leak.
And finally, the valve must be in good repair.
If in some way this valve is damaged, anything that leaks would be not a legal valve any longer. During the pasteurization process, you have your jacketed vessel and you're heating the milk in the vessel. The milk has to agitate against that sidewall in order to be uniformly one temperature and meet the pasteurization temperature for the proper time.
Product temperatures in the vat can't vary more than 1 degree Fahrenheit between any 2 points in the vat during pasteurization. Agitators must run constantly during the pasteurization process. Agitators are designed to work within the specific vessel. They're not interchangeable between all vats. The pasteurizer must be constructed of stainless steel, have overlapping covers, be self-draining, have raised edges on openings, and overlapping drip deflectors in inserted implements.
If I drip anything on this vat lid, it's not going to go into the product, it's going to go away from the product and out. The same is true for any openings. If you have an opening, it needs to be capped with something that diverts flow away from that opening. Vat pasteurizers have 3 thermometers: an airspace thermometer, an indicating thermometer, and a recording thermometer.
Thermometers can be mercury in glass or approved electronic thermometers. The indicating thermometer is a direct read thermometer showing the product temperature in the vessel. This is the official temperature of the product. The airspace thermometer indicates the temperature of the airspace above the milk in the vat. The temperature in the airspace must be at least 5 degrees higher than the minimum pasteurization temperature of the product.
Where these end up in the product is very important, and it will be reviewed. The airspace has to read in the airspace. The indicating thermometer and recording actually have to be in the product zone itself and are usually down lower in the vat. These come in from the top. We have some that will come into a well and be actually placed. The recording and indicating will be in the wells that come off the vat bottom.
Flash and bubbles above the fluid surface are heated by the airspace heater or the fluid in the vessel. Types of airspace heaters are forced filtered air, filtered culinary steam, or an electronic heat element. The recording thermometer continuously records the temperature of the product throughout the pasteurization process. This is your legal documentation that the pasteurization process was performed. These records are subject to review by WSDA.
So every batch of milk that's pasteurized will be recorded onto a chart that will have the date, the amount of milk that was actually in the vat, and have my signature at the end stating that I monitored this and I believe it to be correct. And then the date of this pasteurization, I follow this date onto anything that's made from that milk. I assign a Julian date so that every piece of cheese that leaves Titan Farm and Creamery can be traced back to its pasteurization the day that it was made.
This is just a short description of the parts of the system. WSDA will look at each part to see if they meet the detailed requirements. When purchasing, please seek help from WSDA. We're glad to help you. Don't risk spending a large amount of money on equipment that does not meet the standards. We can help you by reviewing your purchase. Stipulate on your purchase agreement that you agree to purchase the equipment only if the equipment can be approved by WSDA.
This particular vat you hand clean. It's not a large vat, it's only 26 gallons. And so this is all cleaned by hand, and it has a mechanism to tilt so that everything drains out. In larger vats, you'll see a spray ball system where it's automated. Anything that may need hand cleaning, such as the outlet valve, is pulled off and cleaned by hand.
And finally, each person who operates the pasteurizer must pass a written and practical test. The operator of the pasteurizer is in charge of the pasteurization process. The system is operator dependent and is not an automated system. For more information about starting a small cheese manufacturing plant and the process of becoming licensed, please contact the WSDA Food Safety Program at 360-902-1876.